that he needs to sleep minimum 7.5 hours a day. It's a must. And optimum 8.5 hours a day. And then Guru Maharaj says, okay, but write it down to the GBC. If the GBC has a rule that we should sleep 6 hours a day, otherwise we're in Maya, he told the doctor. So the doctor said, okay, I will write it down. So his ideal time to sleep is from 10 to 6. That's the ideal time for him to sleep. Just for all of you to know. That otherwise his speech becomes more difficult, not clear. Also the doctor told him to eat on time. It's a must. He needs to eat on time because he's a diabetic person. So he needs to eat on time. So this is more or less his condition nowadays. His eyes are becoming a little swollen. He has styles in both of the eyes due to inflammation, due to traveling, dust, diabetes. He has developed this. So my request regarding health to all of you, that we need to start to making sure that we go to sleep on time and we eat on time. Is there any question?
Hare Krishna.
On the health
Prabhu.
issue. Just ask on health issue.
Yeah, health issue only, Prabhu. Is there any time or anything like that Guru Maharaj can recover better than the situation right now? Because of the treatment, Guru Maharaj is taking maybe in 1 year we can expect better or something like that.
It's hard to say. With the stroke, it's hard to say whether he will recover more or not. It depends how much therapy he does. The doctor says, if you don't do therapy, then you regress. So, and some people, they were completely paralyzed, and one day to another, they start walking. So it's hard to say.
Just that actually speaking, his health is, his BP is somewhat controlled with medication, but sugar is, though he's taking few different kind of medication for sugar, but sugar is still high. And the main reason for that is because he has put on little weight. I don't know how many of you can see. He has put on weight because of hectic schedule, right from the GBC meetings, then Parikram, Gaur Purnima, Safari, Vyasa Puja, then Narasing Chaturdasi. This is one of the most hectic period in the whole year actually. So due to that, his sugar is increased. So the doctor has strictly told him that he has to take prasad on time, as Ekanath Prabhu said, and he has to spend enough amount of time for exercise. So for this, actually we have, for the last 5 years, we are keeping record of all his health parameters. We started to keep a record book actually. Like daily we make a record of how many rounds he chants, how many hours he sleeps, what are the exercise he's doing, how many hours of a day he spends for his exercise, and his sugar level, the BP level, you name it, practically a lot of informations are there. Daily we keep record of all these health parameters plus spiritual parameters, sadhana parameters. So with this, we did a study actually. Actually this study, we did this to keep a check and balance, whether he's spending enough time for his exercises and preaching activities, just to see the check and balance. So finally, for the last 1 year, right from February 2012 till February 2013, I didn't bring my computer, but for the last 1 year, in this period of time, he has attended about 200 over meetings, and he has given 300 classes. He has traveled more than 80, he has taken 86 flight journeys, and then he has visited more than 70 cities or places, and he has given more than 2,000 initiations. So like that we have, this is what I remember actually. There are more things to this. We made an annual report on this. So with this, that we understood that we didn't do our job properly, actually, because he has spent more time for his regular preaching activities, meetings, compared to how much time he's supposed to spend for his health. So this year we are planning to reduce everything, because with this we came to know that he's not really spending enough time for his exercise. So in one way, I mean, if you see the other way, you'll see a person with this condition, physically challenged condition, he has performed more than even a normal person can perform. Can you imagine 300 classes in a year? Means almost every single day he gives one class. Just lack of 65 days. Those 65 days probably we've been flying or a different time zone, or we don't know. And then meetings, more than 200 over meetings. Initiation ceremonies, more than 100 over ceremonies, like Annaprasana, what you saw today, grain feedings, so like that, attending wedding ceremonies or grain feeding ceremonies. So even a normal person, you cannot imagine doing this. So in one way, if you see the other way, from other point of view, you see how much he could perform even in this physically challenged condition.
And this is really good to see, because we can see that Guru Maharaj doesn't live in a bodily platform of consciousness. We live in a soul platform of consciousness. Otherwise, it's impossible to do it. Like many times we can see that Guru Maharaj is really tired. It's 9 o'clock, he's tired. He will go until 1 or 2 until his body completely shut down. Because he doesn't live like we live. I feel tired, I go to sleep, I feel headache, I take a pill, I feel pain, I take some painkiller. I remember when in Peru, when the infection in the legs started, I was walking and I saw Guru Maharaj with the legs under the sun, and he was having like 6 boils, and pus and blood was coming out of the leg, and he was having fever due to the infection. And if you slightly touch any part of the leg, just small touch, he would scream in pain. But still in this condition, he was outside with the leg right, giving class. And when we told him, please go to the room, lay down, take rest, take the medicine, he said, no, I want to go to the temple. So he went to the temple. And like that, even in the most painful and terrible condition for any normal human being, he will be like if nothing happened. He has now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 styles in his eyes. Styles in his eyes. I don't know how many of you have style before in your eyes. Do you know the pain? With one. And he's having this in the last 4 months, 1 month. Did you ever saw Guru Maharaj complaining? I have such a pain, my legs, my head, I'm tired. You will never see Guru Maharaj complaining. Never. As far as we know, since we know Guru Maharaj, I never hear, I don't know all of you, if you ever hear Guru Maharaj complaining, why this happened to me, why I have this pain.
I'll tell you a nice pastime now. Now pastime times. Pastimes, about pastimes. This was 2 years ago when we were about July 2011. We were going to UK and then also Moscow for Bhakti Vriksha Festival. And then after that, we supposed to go to UK for Birmingham Festival, Radha Festival, then UK for Bhakti Vriksha Festival. And we flew from Calcutta and then Delhi. And before that, 2 weeks before that, he had some abrasion, some sort of like a scratch on his cornea. And that caused a severe infection on the eyes, on the left side. Because you see, he still has problem of because his left eyelid doesn't close by itself, so we have to apply an external weight to help the eyelid to close. So with this, because because he has this problem, so somehow we don't know how it happened, but there was an abrasion, some sort of like a scratch right on the cornea, about 3 millimeter long. So that caused a severe infection, and it was there for almost 10 days. And we tried all our best, and somehow it didn't cure. And it was time, like almost end of July 2011, we supposed to go to UK and Moscow. So we took our flight from Calcutta to Delhi, because our flight was from Delhi to London, Moscow. And then we thought, okay, let us show him to one of the ophthalmologists, eye doctor, before we go to UK. And we called Delhi devotees, and then they connected us with the eye doctor of Gopal Krishna Maharaj. So as soon as we landed, we drove him straight to the clinic, the ophthalmology center. And then the first thing when the ophthalmologist saw Guru Maharaj's eye, Dr. Bakshi, I still remember. As soon as she saw his eyes, she said, Maharaj, Swamiji, I just cannot believe how you travel all the way from Mayapur to Calcutta to Delhi to here to my clinic. With this with this condition of your eyes, you shouldn't travel. You should be supposed to be resting. Then she did all the analysis, and then she gave all the medication, and then she said, okay, please come tomorrow. Then I was like, oh my God. Then I told her, well, actually we have a flight tomorrow at 8:30 to London, I said. What? Are you crazy? I have done 500 cornea transplant, and I know what I'm speaking. Don't ever think about traveling tomorrow. You're supposed to be taking a rest for another 1 week. Just stay here. Then I can see by looking at Guru Maharaj's face, I can see that he's not happy about what the doctor said actually. Then I told her, no, because instead of having Guru Maharaj to speak to her, then I told her that actually it's a very important festival which Maharaj has to attend. The organizers have spent so much of money. I said, sir, can you just see, look at his eyes, She was getting on my case. Then finally she did all the treatment and everything. Then just before leaving, anyway, as soon as you reach London tomorrow, you may go, but as soon as you reach London, first thing you must do is take him to an ophthalmologist in UK. Check his eye again. So then she closed his eyes. She said, Swamiji, go straight to your temple and take rest. Nothing else you should do. Okay, fine. Then we took him to the temple. He was happy. At least she told that he can fly tomorrow. So we took him to the temple. And naturally in Delhi is always a problem. And there are about 100 devotees waiting for him with kirtan, garlands. Even before reaching, they'll be there at the main gate running, behind the car. And we reached. I think Ekanath Prabhu, he was coming from Bangalore. He went to buy something and came from Bangalore. And then he also reached at the same time. And then we took Guru Maharaj. And while we are driving from the clinic to the temple, we told Guru Maharaj strictly, Guru Maharaj, as soon as you go straight to the room, not even darshan. Go straight to the room, take dinner, take rest. He agreed, yes, I'll do that. Then we took him to the room, and there were devotees. We strictly told the devotees, please keep all yourself away from here, because there was a huge bandage. At least we could use that as a reason to scare them off, to put them away. Huge bandage. That lady, the doctor put a huge bandage on his eyes. And then as soon as he reached, there was like 7:30 in the evening. Then he was lying down. He said, I want to take a little nap. So he was lying down. And then after 20 minutes of nap, he woke up. Said, you know what? Tomorrow my flight is at 7:30 in the morning. So I don't think I'll have time to take darshan of the deities. I want to take darshan, he said. In a very very humble and very how the kids, they ask their parents, Mommy, in a very soft and gentle way he asked about this. Then we thought okay. Then I said, okay, you can go for darshan, but you cannot give class. No, I'm not going to give class. I just wanted to take darshan. Okay, fine. So he took his dinner, and before the deity closed, because Delhi temple, in order to go from the guest house, it's actually a lot of hard work actually. You have to go around, climb the steps, because the temples are in different levels. and the main temple altar is on the topmost level. Actually, you have to climb like probably 70-80 steps. So then he managed. As soon as we entered the temple room, there were about 300 devotees waiting to listen to the class with Vyasa-san ready, translator, and 300 devotees. I thought that's it. It's all over. Then we went, he took darshan, he said, I'm just going to speak for just 5 minutes, 5 minutes. And with all this bandage and everything, I mean, imagine normal people like us, with so much of restriction and what the doctors has advised you with big bandage, will you be going in front of the people, you wanted to speak? Generally, you first thing will think that I wanted to take rest. And having flight early in the morning, he has to wake up by 3 because it takes 2 hours for him to get him ready in the morning. So he gave class. I said, I was a little upset practically, because that day I was really upset. I just left him there with other devotees. I went down to the restaurant, I took nice ice cream, and then I went straight to my room. And he ended up, he gave class for almost 45 minutes. He gave class and then he came down, he slept at 11:30 at night. And woke up 3 o'clock in the morning and we took a flight. So what I'm saying is that this is the way. If he wants to do it, he will do it. Because it's all ultimately for a person like Guru Maharaj, his inner desire, that strong spiritual inner desire overtakes any difficulties which you see externally on his body. That's the main reason why he's here today, giving class despite, as how Ekanath Prabhu said, despite all these ties he has in his eyes, all these difficulties. He can overcome all this because his spiritual inner desire is very, very strong, that nothing can stop all the external difficulties that he has. In one way, it is also it's a good chance for the disciples to actually take this as an opportunity to really surrender and render sincere service to him. Actually, one should take an opportunity. In Chaitanya Charitamrita it says, when Madhavendra Puri, during his last days, when he was sick, he was bedridden, he was at the point where even his disciple, one of his foremost disciple, Ishwara Puri, he was in fact cleaning his stool and urine using his own hands. So that was the condition of Madhavendra Puri during his last days. So Ishwara Puri, he took this as a great opportunity to render the sincere service by doing all this menial service to his spiritual master. And Madhavendra Puri was so pleased with his menial service, sincere menial service, that he blessed him, and that blessing was so powerful, and that blessing made him to become the spiritual master for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So imagine, so this is a great opportunity for disciples, that you should take this chance and render sincere service, no matter it's Vapu or Vani, but render and try to help your spiritual master to the best you can, and definitely that blessing will take you to to the greatest height in your spiritual path. Like how Madhavendra Puri's blessing worked on Ishwara Puri, it made him to become spiritual master to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself.
So yes, Maha, to tell this story, to tell another story related to that. Sarvashakti is here somewhere. She's a witness of what I'm going to say. Because when Guru Maha had a stroke in 2009, I was acting at the temple president in Ecuador. So, they gave us the news morning time, was night time in India. So we went to the cyber cafe, because we didn't have internet in the temple. Yes, we didn't have. So we went to a cyber cafe, we sit for like 5 hours just to get the news, whether it was a stroke, a heart attack, or what really happened. So then I got the news that it was a stroke, so I went to the temple and informed the devotees. It was really moving, we're all sad and crying. And then we went back to the cyber cafe just to see what was going on. So then the cyber cafe closed at 10 p.m. So we didn't have internet, we didn't know what to do. Savajati, Devaki and myself, we didn't there. And then we said, let's go to the airport, because in the airport that is free, free internet. So we came to the airport until 6 a.m. Then we took then we decided to travel to India that day. So we went back to the temple, we make our hand luggage, each of us. We bought the ticket with Sarvashakti credit card. And then we flew to Quito, because we didn't have visa to I didn't have my passport ready. So I made my passport, and in the night I flew to Colombia to get my visa for India. And then the Sunday I got my visa, I flew back to Ecuador to catch my plane to go to India. That was on 23rd of October, 24th of October. So we got the visa, we went to New York, we arrived in India in Diwali, because all the fireworks were there. So I remember we arrived at 1 o'clock, we went to the hospital, but they didn't allow us to go inside. So we went back to the temple, take a little rest, and then again we went back to the hospital to see Guru Maharaj. In that moment, Guru Maharaj was awake. He was awake for 1 day, right? Only 1 day, I think, 1 day or 2. So he was awake, and they advised not to visit him, no one who is close to him should go next to him, because he may suffer another stroke if he becomes emotional, the blood pressure may increase, and it's dangerous. So nobody was allowed. Only Ravati Raman was the only one allowed. So Ravati Raman opened the curtain. We have a windows, like 15 meters far, we have a small window, so he opened the curtain, you could see Guru Maharaj's face. So then the next day, after that, Guru Maharaj went back to coma again, deep coma. So everyone was worried, the doctors were really worried, we were all in shock. So we all went inside to see him. But ladies were not allowed. Because Guru Maharaj was we were in critical intensive care unit, ICCU. We have ICU and ICCU. ICCU means every day we were sitting there, there were coming bodies out of the room. Every day, 2 or 3 bodies were coming out. So it's like very little hope. So Sarvashakti and Devaki, they wanted to see Guru Maharaj, they were not allowed. So they have 2 buildings in the hospital. So they went to the next building, they went up to the 3rd floor, then they crossed the bridge. We didn't even knew that. They crossed the bridge, they went up, took the lift, they went inside to ICCU, they sneak in, and then they put a picture of Radha Madhava and the gopis in Mayapur, and they started singing the Damodar Astakam, because was Kartik month. So they started singing for Guru Maharaj for the first time. And then they left without anyone notice. But the main point, because we're discussing how to get faith, and it's really like sometimes we need to see things, experience things in life, hear things, in order to our faith to increase for Guru and Krishna. So Mahavaraha was telling the pastor of Ishwara Puri how he got the blessing of Madhavendra Puri. So after 2 years, I have a car accident. So I was more or less 4 days before Diwali also. 4 days before Diwali. Same time that we got the news that Guru Maharaj was having the stroke. So my wife was hospitalized. She was in the exactly same condition that Guru Maharaj, in coma, with the same pipes, brain damage. So, I called Guru Maharaj, I called Guru Maharaj, say please, she will leave the body soon, so please chant for her. And the moment of when she left the body, Guru Maharaj called, she left the body with the deities from the temple, came to the hospital, installed deities. I don't know how many devotees experienced that or hear that. For me it was a shock. And then he was having tulasi, govardhan in the forehead, shaligrams, pictures, books, kuntimala from Guru Maharaj, personal kuntimala, and whatever name it was there in that moment. And in that moment Guru Maharaj called, so he started singing. And I remember when the Bhakti was a little, she told me whenever I used to climb to go to my house. My father used to sing Krishna, 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 Hey, because just to give me enthusiasm to walk, because I was very little. So Guru Master singing and then Guru Master singing Krishna, 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 Hey, and he sang the whole song. And then after 2 minutes, Guru Master stopped singing. I mean, I just prayed to Prabhupada to allow her to leave, and then she left the body very soon. So I was realizing how small service, because she was traveling with Guru Maharaj all over the world and doing a small service, you get a paycheck at the end of your life. So we should have faith, and we should be really encouraged to do any kind of service, whether personal service, follow his instructions, preach, expand, because we never know. But if we do something and we somehow or another please Guru and Krishna, then they take care of us. They arrange everything. Guru Maharaj Ki. I was true, Sarvashakti. He was witness.
Last year, because just now I saw, we didn't know actually, there are a lot of Guru Maharaj books. There's a book called Gauranga. These are all exception of Gauranga Leelas from all the lectures he has given. So that has been put into books, and there are also a lot of collection of lectures right from the late 1970s he has given. So I just wanted to encourage you all that every disciple of Guru Maharaj should listen to his lectures that he has given. Why? I'll tell you a nice pastimes. Why? This happened last year when we went to when we went on a safari to Andhra Pradesh, all over Andhra Pradesh, starting from Visakhapatnam all the way to Tirupati. So when we were in Narasaraupet, it's one of the small town, and the devotees been preaching there for last 4 years, and they built a nice temple and small guest house, and there are about thousands of congregation, and they installed nice beautiful deities, Radha Govinda. I don't know how many of you seen this picture last year in JPS Live Facebook page. So the day after installation, that morning, because we the servants, we were sharing, as usual, we were share, I mean like 10, 12 of us, we share the same toilet, and so we were in a queue. So as soon as we woke up, we cleaned Guru Maharaj's eyes, and we checked his BP, sugar, and then that morning, I opened the computer to update the JPS Live Facebook page. So that on that day, there was a new, what you call that, wallpaper. We call it wallpaper for the Facebook page. On that day, Shyam Rasika Prabhu, who manages this Facebook page of Guru Maharaj, he pasted a nice wallpaper with Guru Maharaj's nice quotation, and I'll read that quotation to you. This quotation is actually from one of his lecture that he gave in Mayapur from Srimad Bhagavatam class, Canto 6, Chapter 9, Text 46, on 24th May 1999 in Sridham, Mayapur. So he picked up this particular quotation. It's a very beautiful quotation, and the quotation goes, prayer is a very important activity we have. It is a private talk between the devotee and the Lord. It also helps us to establish our personal relationship with Krishna. Because we are praying to Him, that is our communication with the Lord. Such a nice quotation. So that really inspired me on that day after reading that quote. I mean, we would have heard this lecture and probably I don't know how many times, but when I read this quotation on that day, it really inspired me that for a long time I didn't do my regular prayers to the Lord. So probably today I should go and pray to the Lord, do my regular prayers. So after my shower, I went to the temple. The temple was like from here. This was the room where we were staying, and the temple was like same distance. That's how this temple is. So I went in front of the deities, beautiful Radha Govinda, just one day after installation, and I did my regular prayers, and then at the end of the prayers, somehow, without my intention, my mind said that, well, these deities are just installed yesterday, whether Radha and Krishna, they're really listening to my prayers or not. And I was like, my mind was thinking like this. So whether the pujari was qualified enough to, bring the Lord here, whether, so my mind was, crazy. It was thinking all these kind of things, doubts. Then immediately my intelligence took over and says, come on, how can you think about this, The Lord is, okay, even if He's not there, He's everywhere, He's within your heart. So definitely He'll pray, He'll listen to your prayers. So you should not doubt about it. Then I just asked forgiveness from, while I was praying like this, while I was praying that whether, the Lord really listened to my prayers or not, then I thought, okay, my Lord, if you really listen to my prayers, if you would have heard my prayers, please, drop a garland or some flowers. And at that time there was a pujari distributing tulasi leaf to all the visitors. So let the pujari come to me and give me some tulasi leaf from your feet. So then after that, then I corrected my thoughts and I said, I should not do this. I begged forgiveness, I paid obeisances, I left. Then I took my breakfast, I went back to my room, and after an hour, the same pujari walked into my room. He came and he gave me, Prabhu, this is for you, this is tulasi leaf from the lotus feet of the Lord. It's unbelievable, isn't it? Even for me, I was like completely stunned. I was completely stunned. He came, he didn't even know, he didn't even look at me. I don't know, probably he saw me. But he came to me after 1 hour looking for me to give this tulasi leaf. I was completely stunned. And I told Guru Maharaj about this. He called all the pujaris that evening. He said, look at this. Now listen to him. So don't play the fool with the deities. Be serious in your service. So this shows how, like we also heard a class this morning, Guru Mukha Padmavakya, every single word which comes out from the spiritual master, it has its ways. It has its spiritual potency. One should not take this lightly. If one takes it seriously, one can experience, one can realize the potency within each word. And that also shows how the whole quotation proves what Guru Maharaj has said in his lecture, that how the deity is person. It's a private talk between the deities and you. It's a private communication, it's a relationship. See how a small quotation can give you such a big experience. So therefore, it is very, very important for the disciples, in order to increase faith on the spiritual master, you should listen to the spiritual master. Hare Krishna.
Bandhana is very powerful, prayers. So you will see Guru Maharaj every day, he will be going to the deities and pray. Like yesterday he came, he sneaked out and went inside to the temple. Before you notice, start praying. And then, sometimes we try to move him, Guru Maharaj is late. They're waiting for you. So move the wheelchair, he will say, I'm gonna wait 5 minutes more. Guru Maharaj, move the wheelchair. And then it's okay, he's really talking to the deities. Let him talk. So I remember one time, related to prayers, to what Mahavaraha Prabhu says. I was in Mayapur, it was, maybe half a year after, I came after the accident, so I was one year after. Sometimes, I get depressed, so I go to the deities and talk to them. So I was telling, before I feel such a connection with you, I was telling Radha Madhava, I feel like such a connection. And now, because when Guru Maharaj goes to the temple, go first Prabhupada, then goes to Panchatattva, then goes Radha Madhava and Nishinghade. So when he goes, it's so crowded and the people go around him, you cannot really pray, they're pushing you, you are seeing that they don't hurt Guru Maharaj's feet, so I'm not like in a concentration mood. So I escaped and I went before him. So I was in Radha Madhava before him, he was in Panchatattva. I was like really praying to Radharani, I feel like I lose the connection. You're always very kind to me, but I feel like I'm not connected anymore. Please, be merciful with me, give me some mercy. And I start like crying and then I left, all frustrated. Because sometimes I say, give me some flower, drop something, but nothing happened. So I'm like, okay, maybe listen or maybe not. Because sometimes you wonder, maybe I'm not qualified, maybe they're not listening to me. So I left a little frustrated and I was walking outside. And then Guru Maharaj went to Radha Madhava after me. And then I was walking, Guru Maharaj was like in that hall and I was here. And Guru Maharaj saw me. Like he called me, Ekanath, come. So like little, I was still in the frustration mood. So I didn't want to go, so I was like little embarrassed. So he called me, come. So I went. So he took out the garland. Usually Guru Maharaj don't give us garlands to us. Because we're all the time with him, there's no need for get a garland. Unless we do something really amazing, that he's like extremely happy that he take the garland and put it to us. Or we go to one program, so for VIP they put garlands, so they put us the garlands, otherwise we don't get. It's rare, no? And we want the garlands to be given to the devotees, to all of you. So that moment he called me, he took our garland, he said, this is for you. And he said, for me, say yes, this is for you. This is from Radharani. And then I was like totally shocked because sometimes he gives garland, but he doesn't say from whom he's giving, but he said this is from Radharani. And then keep quiet and say, power of prayers, powers of Guru Maharaj's statements, how to connect. Like here we have Radha Radha Kanta, beautiful deities. And we have in Alachua our deities, in Atlanta our deities, in Alachua, in Detroit. How to connect, how to pray, how to surrender every day to Krishna.
How much time do we have?
Okay, Guru Maharaj is on the way. Yeah, he will come here at 7:30. Can we close? So, my request to all of you is that Maharaj say in his class, in his question and answers, how to take care of each other and everyone. We should be seen as a family in ISKCON. It doesn't matter which guru you are. We're a family, a big family, and this is our forte. That we have many uncles, many fathers, many grandfathers, many people to whom we can take shelter on. This is our forte in ISKCON. That's how we get more power. So if we come like a family, we take care of each other, we listen to classes together, we meet regularly together. Because without Sadhu Sangha, there is no Haribol. Without Sadhu Sangha, there is no Harikatha. Without Sadhu Sangha, there is no Kirtan. So we should really, Satatan Kirtayantamana, always hearing about me, Krishna says. We should always try to meet, encourage, do programs, preach.
I have a question for you. I have a question. So the question is, you guys are serving Guru Maharaj 24/7, right? And you go through so much, you see all sides of the story, right? You see all the pastimes and everything. So do you ever feel like sometimes he can chastise you? How do you take that chastisement and continue with what you have to do, knowing that sometimes maybe he's chastising you even though you're not wrong? How do you handle that? Both of you can answer each.
The biggest, most, probably the toughest chastisement I ever got was in 1996. I got a slap.
Not that one, no. The past 5
Well,
years.
I'm just saying.
Okay.
I got a slap from Guru Maharaj once. That was in 1996. That was my mistake actually. That was my mistake, and I'll just make it short. And despite him telling me a couple of times or advising me not to do, I just didn't took his instruction really serious. So I just went on and did what I did. So he slapped me. It was quite heavy actually, in front of others. Then I was like completely, stunned and confused. I was standing in front of him and I see tears started welling up in my eyes, and I just consoled myself within, saying that anyways, my spiritual master, he has all the rights. So then I just left the room, and then we were actually leaving to another place. So I started loading all the luggages in the car, and then he came down. And naturally, whenever Guru Maharaj leaves, you see, he'll be surrounded by hundreds of devotees. So there were about 70, 80 devotees around the car. And then he sat down in the car. And then he came out again. He came to me. And then he said that he took my head and put my head on his chest. He said, Maha, please forgive me for what I did to you.
Wow.
So that few words really melted me actually. He said, I still remember those words. He said, Maha, please forgive me for what I did to you. I don't know how you tolerated that. And then it was more than fatherly mood. The way he expressed was more than fatherly mood. And immediately I just broke down actually. And because what really melted my heart was, that was not his mistake. And on top of that, he has all the right to chastise me, and yet he came and asked forgiveness in front of others. And it's not easy for us to do that. Even we would have, made some mistakes or chastised some devotees. Generally, we don't go and ask forgiveness in front of others. We just take the devotee, go in one corner of the place, and we ask forgiveness. Oh, please forgive me, because of the ego. So that shows that particular chastisement that I had from him really made me become more closer to him actually, and made me to understand about his qualities in much deeper actually. So that's why the chastisement of Guru is actually a blessing. When Guru chastises you, it's actually a blessing. If you take it as a blessing, it's a big blessing. So that's the way I put it. Nowadays, it doesn't chastise much. It's more friendly.
Actually, at the beginning, the topic that Mahaguna wanted us to share with you was about our difficulties on serving Guru Maharaj. So I was meditating all these days. What are the difficulties we have serving Guru Maharaj? And I think the main difficulties we have personally is the ego, the anger, the envy, what else? Etc. These are the main difficulties that we may have serving anyone, not only Guru Maharaj, serving anybody. False ego. Personally, when Guru Maharaj chastised me, let's say he's not right, or whatever it is, because Guru is always right. Whether you believe it or not, he's always right. So when he chastised me, let's say he's not right, I become upset. But, when you have a kid, sometimes you have a kid, and the kid do something, you become upset, but then when the kid's calling you, say, come, let's go do this, then, just melt your heart. And for me, after 1 hour of, depend of the chastisement of the degree, how many hours or minutes, then I will go back, then Guru Maharaj will call me, to come to my eyes. So then gone. They need to be detached. Because, we should also understand, we commit so many mistakes on daily basis, in our spiritual life, in our material life, in every single aspect of our life we're committing mistakes. And Guru Maharaj is always open, always hearing us, taking care of us. Sometimes the little chastisement, he's over forgiving. Sometimes you do something like, you hit his leg, his foot into the table, really painful. He starts screaming. You commit a mistake, but still he's not saying anything. He's keeping quiet. He never chastises because of that. So we commit so many mistakes. So one time he chastises, it's nothing. At some point we eat ice cream. I eat when I feel frustrated. I eat a little bit and then I chill and then I come back and do my service. That's
good. Anybody else want to ask any intimate pastimes? Some things like that from just a couple of more questions and then we'll move on to the next program. Then Guru Maharaj should be here any minute.
Actually, Mahavaraha is more like a mother. The mothers are like tolerant. They never, they're more like not, soft, easygoing. When he advised Guru Maharaj, he's like very okay, do like this, very soft. More like a father. Balance. He has a soft heart. Maharaj is a good mood, soft. After I don't know how many years I'm with him, I never saw him. I saw him once getting upset. He raised little bit his voice. Prabhu, don't do it. Maha get upset.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Did Guru Maharaj see our message which we seen in the Facebook?
Last Guru Maharaj see the message that we send it through Facebook or emails.
Yeah.
So yeah, when he's in Mayapur, there are devotees who read emails to him on daily basis almost. But it is little difficult when we are out of India, because in India we have enough manpowers to really take care of him 24/7. But when we are out of India, there's 4 or 5 of us, we have to be around the clock. So sometimes it's difficult to even read mails, but we do some urgent emails, we answer. And Facebook messages he says when he's in Mayapur.
And the good thing of writing is that because we communicate to Guru, we try to give a communication, we try to communicate with him. And personally, I think that both Guru and Krishna, they get the message. At least our attitude is there. And whether you get an answer or not, sometimes it's very difficult. The devotees have so many expectations. They want Guru Maharaj to be in the class, to give initiation, to do this, to go to the meeting, to stay until 3, 4 a.m., to answer all the emails, to travel, to come to the festival, to go to the festival, to do everything. But how can one person do it? Even if the whole day he's answering emails, how many emails he can answer? Even if the whole day he only answers emails. Imagine for now, Guru Maharaj say, okay, no more darshan, no more temple, no more class, only emails. Then everybody will say, Prabhu, have a program. Prabhu, we have a class. So we need to be conscious of that. It's really nice to get all the reports, but don't have the expectation Guru Maharaj needs to answer. If he doesn't answer me, he's not my Guru, he's not taking care of me. Maharaj was saying, Yogendra Prabhu was speaking about Indra, how he would never have any association, and so many people never have any association. But it's not something because the Guru answer, he's my Guru, or because he give me something, or he smile to me, he's my Guru. Guru Tattva is different thing. Guru is one.
Guru Maharaj was saying today that he still gets a chance to read, and does that mean can he physically still read, or are you reading to him? And then same with our emails or on the internet, on his phone. Can he still read, or does he still read?
No, he reads actually. He can read, but not for too long, probably for 10-15 minutes. Then after that, his eyes get strained because he still doesn't have a lateral eye movements. He cannot still move his eyes on the sideways, only straight glance. So it's difficult for him to read more than 10-15 minutes. So therefore we have devotees to read to him. And for, as he said last night, that he still reads Prabhupada book, which is true. Every night before he goes to sleep, we have devotees to read. As soon as he is on the bed, he starts reading books for him. It will go on for 10 minutes, sometimes 15 minutes, sometimes 20 minutes. So he finished Krishna book. Now he's in Srimad Bhagavatam 11th Canto again. So like that he reads Prabhupada book every day. So it's another good example of, for normal people like us, to how we should also at least make a point that to read Prabhupada books at least 10-15 minutes daily in our life.
One more question, anonymous question I have. So what is the most important instruction that Guru Maharaj is giving you now while you are so intimate with him today?
What is the most important instruction that Guru Maharaj is giving you now when you are most intimately yes, associated with him? Once when we were going from Bhaktivedanta Hospital right after he had a stroke, his first program, we were going into the ambulance. So we went to the program, whatever. On the way back, he was in the how would you call the bed? What is that?
ICU bed.
In the ICU bed, laying down in the ambulance, and I asked Guru Maharaj, what happened when you have the stroke? And he says, when I was there, Krishna came and I asked him, can I stay in the planet to finish the temple of Vedic planetarium? So I asked Guru Maharaj what Krishna says. So I request him, I didn't push him. So then he says, I will do this. He said, what? Because he was with the mouth up, so he couldn't really speak clearly. So I said, what, Guru Maharaj? He pointed, he said, Krishna's watch. What? He said, be careful, Krishna is watching you now.
What about you?
He said, he was there also. He said to all of us.
I don't remember any particular personal instructions. Once he told me he should preach. But otherwise, in the last 5 years, ever since he had stroke, mostly we are just taking care of him, and we are happy we can give our best to him, take good care of him and keep his health in good condition. I think that's the biggest instruction, and it's an instruction forever. If we can keep him in a good shape, keep him in a good shape.
You already talked about the health.
Sometimes the people, we get in the case of the people. I need to sometimes shout to them. But also, through Guru Maharaj told us, Balisky person told me to take care of his health. And sometimes we need to follow certain things, and due to the love and enthusiasm of the devotees, that they don't see what is Guru Maharaj going through in a daily basis. They just see Guru Maharaj all dressed up here, jumping, happy. So it's okay, let's take opportunity to associate more with him. So they try to take all the time, and I need to come and cut you off and please. And so please forgive me if I'm being harsh. But
Also once he told me in Los Angeles that make sure that I give class every day. And then make sure I finish my round every day. Like it's our duties, the caretaker's duties, to make sure that he keeps his sadhana intact. That's a small thing, but it's our duty to help the spiritual master to perform his sadhanas, his preaching activities. So like that, those are the simple instructions. There's some Matajis raising hands. Prabhu.
Prabhu, can I go in my place? Hare Krishna.
here, Mahalakshmi, Prabhu.
had some spray
Hair.
for mosquitoes. Is
Okay.
that what you told me to do?
What do we forget?
Yes, bro. Go ahead.
Okay. Once I was with Maharaj at the airport to say bye-bye to him is leaving Atlanta. Okay. And I just want to know, if Guru Maharaj looks into your face, can he read your thoughts? Does he know what you're thinking about? Because while I was standing there, I was thinking about another devotee, and he told me, take out your cell phone and call the devotee. How did you know I was thinking about that person?
Well, I don't know how to read his mind, but it happens in many occasions. We have seen that sometimes it's what they call the Chaitya Guru. I think Paramatma works wonders.
Master says in one class, it's not like a Guru knows everything. He said when Guru needs to know, Krishna can tell in the heart. It's only when Guru needs to know something that's really important like that, then Krishna can reveal. But it's not like the Guru needs to know everything. He see you, oh, you're doing this, oh, you're doing that. No. When he needs to know, Krishna can reveal. Mahavaraha Prabhu says. Little lower, yeah, higher.
Hello. Okay. Well, I was just going to ask about his exercising that he does, what type of exercise he has every day. But also, I just wanted to tell Mahavaraha Prabhu that when Guru Maharaj tells you that you should preach, that you do by the JPS Live, that you keep us all informed. You know, you're always sending pictures and so many things. It's so enlivening to the disciples all over that are connected with that page. And if any of you are not on that page, you should definitely friend or like JPS Live, because you will hear so much of the nectar of where Guru Maharaj is and what he's doing, you know, by Mahavaraha Prabhu. So I wanted to thank you about that. And then I was just wondering, like, what is his daily exercises that you're doing for him?
How many watching JPS Live? Okay, if you're not, please go ahead, keep update. You can see all the activities, report, pictures, wonderful pictures.
Actually, it was Guru Maharaj is the one who he got inspired from Subhuti Krishna Prabhu. I think he's here, yes. After he attended his seminar last year in Mayapur, how to preach through Facebook, Guru Maharaj got very inspired seeing how Subhuti Krishna Prabhu has, I don't know how many followers, Prabhu, 70,000 Prabhu? About 70,000 of
100,000?
81 followers he has on his Facebook, and he's been preaching to all of these people. So Guru Maharaj got inspired, and he used this, that because all this while he was in stroke for 5 years, so he didn't, you know, because we don't give him time to, you know, go through all this internet browsing and, you know, no computer, nothing. So he was completely ignorant about it. So last year after attending his seminar, he got this, there is such technology, so I wanted to know about Facebook. So he asked, he wanted to connect himself and be in touch with his disciples. So he create this page and please put all the information on this. So it was his idea actually. So we should thank him. And also all the devotees who really, because we are now outside of India, so I'm updating the Facebook. Otherwise in India we have a team of devotees who gives constant update, even lectures, pictures and all this.
Those who want to help the archives, we have our Shamrasika Prabhu. He's doing a wonderful 24 hours job, getting the pictures, videos, translations, transcriptions, helping with books, doing a wonderful job. So if you want to help, he needs a lot of help. He needs to pay his expensive. He's very poor, but he's giving 24 hours 7. His family is sick. He's leaving his family even to stay in Mayapur. So if you can help, support him, please go ahead. And regarding the therapies, we're really bad in the therapies nowadays. We do when we have chance to do swimming pool, is really good. Swimming pool is really helping him because he doesn't have the full body weight on his legs, so he can walk more, be more free, do more movements. That is really important for his health. So swimming pool we're doing nowadays, but when he wake up he does Actually, he does 27 exercises. He repeats 36 times each movement. Wrists, ankles, legs, arms, shoulders. Like this he chant also. 36. He does 36 each exercise. So 36 times 4.
36 times 3.
Time 3, sorry. 108. So like that. He does 36 each exercise. So at the end of the exercise, we put 27 exercise times 36. This many rounds.
Yeah, it is just that what they call, it's a big challenge actually to keep him on proper check and balance between his sadhana, his spiritual activities and his exercise. It's like his, even till today, his subtle body, mind and intelligence, that goes in one direction, his physical body going in one direction. And the spiritual, and to bring that together and put them in one proper track and take them together, it's a big challenge. It was just that he's into preaching, seeing the devotees, festivals, parikram. Like this year he attended 5 parikrams every single day. This year we had 5 parikram groups, Russian group, Bengali groups too, international, Hindi, 5 different groups. He went to all 5 different groups and he gave class. 5 classes in a day. And next year they're planning to extend to 7. So like this, his desire, he said, I want to attend all 7. So like that, his desire, his inner desire and spiritual desire is like going in one direction, and that making a big impact on the physical body actually. So to bring this, align them, is the biggest challenge that we are facing actually.
That's why we need your help.
Okay, I think we need to really wrap it up. Okay. So can somebody help me to move these chairs this side?
Okay, thank you all very much, and hope these little exchanges would have boosted your faith, since we talk about faith. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. If somebody kindly